December 29th, 2019 was a normal Sunday morning for parishioners at the West Freeway Church of Christ. As parishioners were enjoying the service, a strange man entered the building, wearing a fake beard, sunglasses, and jacket. Several members of the church realized that something about this man seemed strange, but they failed to take action. What they didn't know is that this man, later identified as Kenneth Thomas Cunanan, was concealing a shotgun under his jacket. At one point during the service, Cunanan appeared to become agitated as he got out of his seat and paced back and forth. It was at this point that he pulled out a shotgun and pointed it at the usher. A concealed carry permit holder sitting nearby identified the threat, stood up, and attempted to draw his firearm. Unfortunately, this permit holder lacked the training to use his firearm at a high level while under stress, and because of this, he was shot and killed. You see, many gun owners believe that if they have a gun and a concealed carry permit, they will be able to use the gun at a high level during a violent attack. Just imagine for a moment that you went to a music store and purchased a brand new guitar. Just because you have the guitar, does that mean that you can play it at a high level like Aerosmith or Metallica? Of course not. Why are these individuals able to play the guitar so well? Because of practice and training. Unfortunately, this concealed carry permit holder thought that because he could shoot at a paper target, he would rise to the occasion and perform at a level that he had never trained at. Then we have the second type of permit holder, represented by a man named Jack Wilson. This type permit holder has a deep desire to protect himself and his family and innocent people from evil. This type permit holder knows that his skills will never rise to the occasion, but instead they will fall back to their highest level of training. When Wilson identified the threat, he drew his gun and shot the bad guy in the head from 50 feet away. Have you ever shot a 7-inch target from 50 feet away with a handgun? That is a tough shot. Jack shot the bad guy from 50 feet away while the bad guy was moving. Have you ever heard the term, the penalty of a miss? Just imagine that I had you in a headlock with a knife to your throat. If your spouse had to shoot me in the head to save your life, what is the penalty if he or she makes a mistake? They could accidentally kill you. Wilson had to shoot over the heads of 20 or more people to stop the attacker. The next day during an interview, Wilson was asked what was going through your mind as you pressed the trigger. "This is easy," he said. "My jaw hit the floor. This is easy. Who is this guy?" Why was shooting a small, moving target from 50 feet away while under extreme amounts of stress easy for Wilson? It was because of proper training and consistent, deliberate practice. Did Wilson rise to the occasion and perform at a level that he had never trained at? Of course not, because no one ever does. Wilson fell back to his highest level of training, which was enough to stop the attacker and save countless lives. Let me ask you guys a question. Why do you want to carry a gun? If your answer is that you want to protect yourself and your family from a violent attack, then wouldn't you agree that getting your concealed carry permit and completing this course is not enough? This is why I developed the Advanced Concealed Carry Course Level 1. This course was specifically designed for beginner and intermediate shooters to teach you the foundational skills of defensive pistol shooting. These foundational skills include proper gear selection and placement, mindset and the OODA loop, establishing a proper zero, the mechanics of recoil, the balance of speed and accuracy, emergency reloads, speed reloads, and tactical reloads, instinctive shooting, malfunction clearing, and much more. One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a concealed carry permit holder is to view your firearm as the only tool in your self-defense toolbox. I believe concealed carry is a tool, but it can't be the only option that you have. Wouldn't you agree? It would be very foolish if the only two options to defend your family were to do nothing or to kill someone. You have to have options in the middle. I encourage everyone to carry non-lethal options, like mace or maybe a baton. Every person who is concerned about a violent attack needs to know how to handle themselves in a fight. But there's one self-defense tool that I believe trumps all others. It's the art of learning how to identify and avoid the threat before it ever begins. Avoiding the threat isn't as simple as you might think. It's a science that is currently being used by the U.S. Secret Service, Special Forces military personnel, Customs and Border Protection, and law enforcement officers across the country. Avoiding the threat isn't one single skill, but a combination of skills developed over time. These skills are awareness, effective decision-making, and the application of skill. If any of these critical pieces are missing, the entire concept of avoiding the threat will fail. In the following sections, we are going to break down each of these critical skills.